My dear children, good evening to you all. Children, yesterday we had talks on simple sentence and compound sentence. Today we shall have discussion on complex sentence, but before that, let us have a quick revision on clause. The clause. What is a clause, children? There are different definitions, but I would like to recall that one which I learned in my childhood. What is a clause? A clause is a sentence that forms, FORMS, that forms part of a larger sentence. There are two types of clauses: principal clause or main clause, or independent clause, and subordinate clause or dependent clause. Let us take one sentence as, for example, the children went home when the school was over. See, children, we can find two parts in this sentence. First part, the children went home. Second part, when the school was over. The children went home, that's fine. It's a complete and meaningful sentence. But when the school was over, this part of the sentence does not sound complete. It needs the help of the first part to bring the fruitful meaning. The children went home when the school was over. The children went home. This is called main clause or principal clause. And when the school was over, it is known here in this sentence as subordinate clause or dependent clause. Another sentence. My friend offered me help when I was in problem. My friend offered me help. Okay, fine. Thanks to my friend, he offered me help. It can be a complete sentence. But when I was in problem, this does not sound complete. It needs the help and assistance of the first part. So my friend offered me help, main clause, and when I was in problem, this is subordinate clause or dependent clause. Children, there are three types of subordinate clauses: adverb clause, adjective clause, and noun clause. An adverb clause is a group of words that contains a subject and predicate of its own and works as an adverb. There are 9 types of adverb clauses, like adverb clause of time, adverb clause of place, adverb clause of manner, adverb clause of purpose, adverb clause of comparison, concession, like this. We shall discuss those as and when required. Now, adjective clause. An adjective clause is a group of words that contains a subject and predicate of its own and works as an adjective in the sentence. And noun clause is a group of words, and noun clause is a group of words that contains a subject and predicate of its own and works as a noun. When we shall analyze the clauses, I shall mention everything in detail. Okay? Now, let me get back to complex sentence. Children, a complex sentence is comprised of a principal clause or main clause and one subordinate clause or more than one subordinate clauses. Okay. Just we use coordinating conjunctions like who, when, where, that also, why, because, since, though, although. These are known as coordinating conjunctions. Some I mentioned here. Let us take one example. I went to the market when my mother told me. I went to the market when my mother told me. You must have recognized in this sentence which one is main clause, which one is subordinate clause. And let me tell you, my mother I went to the market. Main clause, when my mother told me. That means my mother told me, so I went to the market. I went to the market, main clause, when my mother told me. This is subordinate clause. And here in this sentence we find here, this sentence we can regard as a complex sentence. I did not go to the college because I didn't go to the college today because I was ill. Because I was ill. This is subordinate clause. I didn't go to the college today, main clause. Well, we shall talk in detail more. Let me tell you, sometimes subordinate clause also comes in the first part of the sentence. Okay, we shall have more discussions when we shall do as directed, set of questions based on clauses. Today, this much, and have a nice time. Goodbye.